Hello and welcome to Building Local Power, a podcast about how we can challenge corporate monopolies and expand the power of people to shape their own future. In this mini-series, we're taking a look back at our archive and sharing highlights from episodes that continue to be relevant. Today, we're returning to an episode called Is Amazon Picking Winners and Losers Among America's Cities? It features award-winning journalist Alec MacGillis, where he talks about his most recent book, Fulfillment, Winning and Losing in One-Click America. This episode originally aired March 4th, 2021.
Amazon is a driver of this problem of regional inequality, regional divergence between winner-take-all cities and left-behind places, much in the same way as other tech giants. What's happening essentially right now is that as certain markets get more concentrated, so does regional wealth, Silicon Valley. So you end up with this almost dystopian level of wealth and inequality in the Bay Area, while all these newspapers and other news media outlets around the country suffer mightily. And so that's sort of how the economic concentration leads into this kind of regional disparity. The other reason that Amazon chose Washington to build this enormous presence is that Washington is home to the federal government. And if you're a company as dominant as Amazon is now, you have, in a sense, you have less to fear from other corporate rivals than you do from possible intervention by the government. And the best way to head that off is just to be very big in Washington, not only for the kind of cruder aspects of influence wielding, but just in kind of soft power ways, right? You're more likely to have a kind of complacent, benign notion of Amazon if the guy lives next door to you or is on the sidelines of your daughter's soccer game is an Amazon guy. Locally, you've had this big debate around the housing and homelessness crisis and attempts to address it, partly by raising money in the form of higher taxes on Amazon and other big employers in Seattle to pay for more housing and homelessness services. And what happened in Seattle was that not only did Amazon manage to launch a very effective lobbying campaign to push back a new law that had passed to raise money, a new tax that had passed to raise money to address this terrible problem. But you also had a general turn within the electorate itself. It turned against these efforts, a fear that raising money to address homelessness would end up simply wasting taxpayer dollars, wasting these companies' dollars, and at the most kind of visceral, getting some kind of affordable housing built on your own block in your own neighborhood, a real kind of basic NIMBYism reaction. And Amazon was so successful in beating back this tax because it actually had quite a lot of allies in the local allegedly progressive electorate. With the pandemic, it was a way of living that almost became attached to a sort of self-righteousness. By doing everything online, we were just doing the safe thing. We were flattening the curve, bending the curve. That we were just doing what the public health experts told us to. And that was true to a certain extent for a certain period of time. But I do worry that even as we hopefully come out of this relatively soon, that those habits that were accelerated and exacerbated and intensified are going to stay with us to a great degree. That we just are really at risk of forgetting what it's like to actually be out in the world around us, to be connected to people, and perhaps we even find that when we go out, if we do venture out back into the world, that a lot of the places that we used to go to are actually gone now because we left them adrift and bereft for a year, and that's something great will have been lost. And I worry about that a lot, and I do think we all have a role to play in making sure that we re-engage.
Amazon's market dominance has restricted small businesses from competing. We must take back control of our economy by fighting corporate monopolies and supporting local institutions. You can get Alec MacGillis' book, Fulfillment, Winning and Losing in One-Click America, at independent bookstores around the country. If you liked what you just heard, find Building Local Power on your favorite podcast platform to listen to our full episode called Is Amazon Picking Winners and Losers Among America's Cities?